I'm just trying to get to my class. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Terry or Teresia, and in today's video I really wanted to talk to you guys about what it's really like studying in Munich from my perspective. Today in class I was thinking, wow, Teresia, you're in your third and final year of university, and where did it go? In terms of time, it just whoosh went by me. I could literally remember my first day of university like it was last week. Swear to God. And additionally, since I posted that studying in Germany video, I've gotten a lot of questions from you guys on Instagram asking me what it really is like to study here. How do you get admitted? What are the courses like? Are some of these programs entirely in English? La 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 la. And I just thought I would address some of these issues in this video today because my thoughts have been running wild too. So I thought we'll get into those. Alright, let's start talking. Now, first and foremost, like growing up in the Caribbean and watching a lot of American TV shows, you have a different idea of what it should be like. They always say it's going to be the best few years of your life. You're going to make lifelong friends, all of this, the best parties, live it up. Living on campus, you know, away from home and all that. But in Munich in particular, it's just not like that. The university is just not set up like that. If you're a foreign student, I mean, I really don't know too much about this, I'm going to be honest, but there is an area, Studentenstadt, where, literally, student city, where they have student housing, and so a lot of people who come on Erasmus or foreign exchange, they stay in this housing complex pretty much. I'm not sure how many German or local students stay there as well. I'm sure a number of them do. But for the most part, a lot of German students, I feel, opt for WGs, Wohngemeinschaften. So it's just shared housing pretty much. So everybody just kind of pays rent and you all live together, have parties together. Sometimes, you know, you do things together. Some people are really not into that, you know, communal living type of situation and may opt to, if you can and you find it in Munich, well, you are a magician. You did the trick. How do you find apartments here? I don't know, it's hard. I think that whole living with other students and having that, you know, true young adult experience will help and will add to your university experience. Also, the way that the university is structured in Munich, okay, there's the Universität, that's the U-Bahn stop, literally university, and it's 2 stops away from Marienplatz, so the city center. So in that whole area, it's really, you know, you could really feel that buzz of student life. There are a lot of cafes and restaurants, which is awesome. So in between classes, you could, you know, run out, grab a coffee, you know, just hang out, which is cool. It kind of balances out the stress of university with, you know, being social and stuff. But there's a main building, and apart from that main building, everything else, all the other faculties are kind of spread out throughout the city. One street down is like my faculty, for example, and then on random other streets they'll have like different classrooms and different buildings that are LMU operated. So, you know, depending on what course you might pick in a certain semester, if it belongs to, you know, a different department or faculty, then most of the times you'll have to go to where that faculty is. So it's a different building. You might only go there once in your entire university life. Everything is spread out. What that means for me, I feel, is that also that university vibe and feeling is just kind of spread out throughout the city, but it kind of loses its flavor in a sense. It's not as concentrated and compact and together. And apart from that, there's like the cafeteria. So even in my building, there's the cafeteria upstairs. I rarely eat there, if ever. I just kind of prefer going out. Like, they have so many cafes and restaurants like up and down the streets of this university area, and for me, I find it's fun to go and explore them. However, obviously that's a lot more expensive than if you were to fill up your card and swipe away and pay with that in the cafeteria. There's also a main cafeteria, and I went there once in my first semester. The line was just ridiculously long, I felt. And then, like, you're sitting with everybody, which is cool because then that way you also get to meet people, and it really feels like American high school cafeteria vibes. And they do have a lot of food options, and I think I paid like €3 in all for like a hearty Bavarian type of meal that day and the drink, as opposed to €7.50, €9, €10 plus a tip if you go somewhere else. You have to know what you want, you know what I mean? Now, getting admitted, I'm just going to quickly describe like my process. A lot of the information is online, literally on the website. So first you have to fill out the form online for what subjects you want to do, and then they have, depending on what your last name is, they have specific days that you should come to avoid long waiting times, which is very proficient. Hello, Germany. So yeah, and then you pretty much go to the part of the building that they say in the main building, and you wait in line. You finally get into the room, and then there's somebody, usually a student, and they help you pretty much. They just you give them your ID, you know, whatever other papers you need, your documents, certificates and stuff, and then they kind of put all the information into the system. And then she gave me like a little, you know, all of my Unterlagen, so all the documents, you know, all the information about being a freshman, what the university is about, la la la. A few weeks they sent me my official like ID, which is not even like a card, it's literally like a paper thingy. It's fairly flimsy. Now, as it relates to courses, like I'm studying American Studies, which is literature and history basically about North America, but we really focus for the most part on the United States. That, I'm gonna say like 90% of that is in English. They have some courses that are offered that are in German. Then you also have to do a minor. So the minor that I picked is very flexible because it's also about like language, literature and culture. So depending on what you choose, it could be really in English, but that is later on. There, at least the first 2 semesters you're gonna have some German courses. But then if you want like English courses, you should probably look into maybe private ones, because at like German universities you're going to have at least some knowledge of German. But if you're coming as an Erasmus student or an exchange, then obviously that's going to be a different cup of tea. As it relates to parties, like for the Erstiswoche, so like the first week of, you know, freshmen, they have a lot of events and parties going on. And usually in the morning when you come up the main escalators, they always have people standing out there handing out like flyers and like, ooh, here, come, we have party tonight, la la la. I was like, oh god, I'm just trying to get to my class. The only party that I went to in this whole time that was university related was the Christmas party from my faculty, and there were also teachers there. They had waffles that they were making there themselves, and like hot German Christmas wine and stuff. It was a cute event. It was a cute gathering, but it wasn't like a university party, and I'm not that social, so I didn't go to a lot. But if you are, they have a lot of options for you as well. Oh yeah, the other day I went for the first time to like a VG party, which was cool. There were a lot of, yeah, obviously young people drinking beer pong, hey. And they also had like a little beer station where they were selling beer, like 50 cents, €1 for like a beer, which was funny. If I had maybe advice, like when I first started, would be to be a lot more involved. A lot of times I just go to class and then go back home, because I just like, if I don't have to be at school, I don't want to be at school. But then you really do miss out on meeting a lot of people, meeting your fellow classmates on a, you know, another level, because if you just see them in class all the time, it's kind of just like, oh, I mean, I kind of know her, but unless you guys are put in like groups together. Yeah, so definitely be a lot more involved. I know in like America or even in the Caribbean, there are a lot of, or in England too as well, they also have a lot of student groups and things that you can get involved in, and they do have that here in Munich as well. But for me, it's not as readily available, as accessible, as in your face as it is like during the orientation week. Like at the university here for the minor, we had a big orientation day, because a lot of people tend to pick the minor that I picked because it's easy to get into. It's really broad, like the topics that you could do are extremely broad, and that orientation went step by step. But at the end of the day, it wasn't like a general orientation as to how the university truly works, or, you know, all of the different avenues you could take later on, all the different groups that they have, and, you know, just the little details about the university I feel were kind of left out in that orientation. And that was just for the minor. From our main thing, we barely even had an orientation, so if you guys have any more questions, I know a lot of my subscribers are not students, don't care for any of this, and I'm amazed if you stayed this long. If anybody has any other questions about, you know, studying in Munich, what it's like, let me know. I would like to do a lot more vlogs, even if it's like, you know, partially like a day at school or something. Yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, wherever it is you are in the world, and I will see you in my next video.